suplex. Hey, welcome everybody to a brand new edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. You'll notice no headsets on my friends Chief and Matt. We have a little issue with a big buzz in the headset, so we're going to ask. I put this in the chat room already. Chief, you want to make an announcement what not to do?
The Chief says, do not call in today. We are having technical difficulties.
And it's only with our headsets that allow us to hear not only ourselves, but if there's callers, does not affect our output. So we're hoping that everybody hears us just fine. So we're going to ask you to keep your comments and conversation, which most of you do anyway, to the chat room. And of course, you can also use Twitter. You can send a message to us using hashtag ThoughtsCountAnywhere, and we'll be able to chat with you that way as well. A lot going on, gentlemen. How was your week? Even less than a week. We were just together Tuesday night down at Firehouse Subs, another great event down there. What's going on?
Not much. Just been working a lot and had a sty in my eye. It hurts like a little bitch, but I think it popped on the way here, so kind of feels better at the moment.
Had a great week. Very blessed this week. Very blessed.
What blessed you this week?
The turnout that we had at Firehouse Subs.
Yes.
The family came through for us, and I greatly appreciate it.
Right on. Thank you. And, of course, we had 4 winners, 3 T-shirt winners, and then we had someone else, of course, win that great trip to Cancun, courtesy of Lifestyle Global. So we want to thank that. So let's announce it now. From what I understand, and I know, Brad, you can Team Finley Mazda's watching. All right. Hello, everybody out there at Finley Mazda.
Sold.
Closed case. Got Garth. You name it. They're all there. The next live remote for Firehouse Subs will be Tuesday, August 31st, and we had a great time down at Eastern and Russell. Technically, it's Eastern and Oquendo, as I found out driving there in front of the Walmart. We are going to be back at that location from 7 to 8 p.m. No, you can take that one down. That says unguided. That's the one that just passed. We haven't made
all right.
Yet.
No problem.
So we're going to work on seeing who our guests will be on the 31st. But, so thank you to Firehouse Subs. It was a great time, and thank everybody for really taking care of our crew and the guests that were there. Want to shout out to everybody there. So, it was a good time.
Brandon, thanks very much, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was great to have everybody out.
Yeah, it was there we go. So, 5905 Southeastern, Unit 109. Like I said, it's right there on Eastern and Oquendo. All right, so we're looking forward to that. All right, if you have any suggestions maybe of guests you want to see at that remote, shoot them to us. Sean, you're not being censored. By the way, thank you to the Unguided for being our guest this past week. Everybody kind of is being censored because we don't have the headsets available. But anyway, all right, let's get started with I Hear Voices. All right. Rumor this past week was that perhaps Brock Lesnar was negotiating with AEW. Rumors to dissuade those rumors say it's not true. Matt?
I really thought he was, going to try to play the game to get more money out of Vince just to mess with, I thought he was going to talk to Tony Khan solely to mess with Vince to get more money out of Vince. I didn't think he was ever going to go to AEW, but I could see him using that as leverage to, now I want to work 3 dates and I want $10 million now.
Right. Especially after what they've seen, what they're hearing, or what we're hearing about Daniel Bryan possibly going, and the flexibility that he's asked for as well.
Well, with Daniel, I think the one sticking point with Bryan Danielson, I'm not going to call him Daniel Bryan anymore. He's not with WWE. His real name's Bryan Danielson. I think the sticking point is he wanted to go work in Japan, and he was not given the opportunity was not there for him in the WWE. Now with AEW, the opportunity's there. So I think that was a selling point. Just my opinion. Lesnar, I could care less what Lesnar does. He needs to go to pasture. I'll watch him on the radio.
Oh, yes. Sean loves that on the radio. By the way, we're getting some heavy suggestion to see if perhaps Chris Bay would be available to join us on that remote. So that's a name, possibly as well. Okay, so Lesnar, we'll see what happens. All right, next topic. Rumored plan was for Karrion Kross to keep losing on Raw until Scarlett showed up to get him back on track, but those plans, of course, have changed given Jeff Hardy's COVID positive test.
Once I heard like the rumors of like what was gonna happen, I think everybody like was super furious when he lost his opening, like his debut match on Raw. But since like there's got to be like a plan to everything, so everyone was jumping the gun. I think flipping out over like one loss, but it didn't really make too much sense because they're building him up for an entire year undefeated to lose randomly to Jeff Hardy, Jeff Hardy cheating of all things.
Right.
And he's like a good guy, so it really didn't make much sense. But if it would have got Scarlett,
It rhymed.
on TV, I would have been for it.
I only have 3 words. I wasn't upset
That he lost?
that he lost.
Okay, why's that? Why do you take that minority position?
He knows people that knows people.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to presume, and if anybody knows that my presumption is incorrect, please speak up. But we know that the positive test with Hardy came out after he wrestled Cross that first night on his debut night.
Yeah.
So I'm going to presume on my own, we haven't seen anything or anything that Karrion is medically fine. That I'm going to presume he was tested after the match since his thing came back. So I'm hearing nothing other than the fact that things are normal for Karrion. God, thank you that he was not affected.
He's healthy.
So that's good. So
He's healthy.
there you go. The other authority.
I know people that know people.
The name rhymes with Kevin.
Oh my God. Sean is saying he's sorry that he didn't actually smack you with a sub the other night. So, but you know what? We have
Up
the
your
31st.
nose with a rubber hose.
There you go. Randy, he's more than medically fine. Have you seen him? Okay, next topic to close out I Hear Voices. All right, rumors Becky Lynch won't be back until possibly no earlier than the draft in October. No surprise. return.
SummerSlam. It has to happen at SummerSlam.
Especially with what happened last night on SmackDown, right?
I heard there's no timetable for her to come back.
Really?
Really.
Because after what happened on SmackDown last night.
I don't disagree. Okay,
Right.
that's what my thought was. SmackDown. I heard a good one this morning. Selena Vega, Carmella, if what's her name, Bailey wasn't hurt, and Sasha Banks, and the Man in a 5-way. But don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. What I'm hearing is there is no timetable for her to come back yet.
I'm sorry, I'm reading some of the messages our friends, and I'll use that word in quotes right now, are putting in there. By the way, listen.
Hey, Sean, it's your fault. You could have come down here. If you'd have called me like you discussed with me earlier, you could have been in studio.
That's
right.
right.
So I don't want to hear your shit.
Listen, all I got to say about Tuesday night and no sub slapping, as I say in any wrestling event, card subject to change. So, all right, that closes us out for I Hear Voices. All right.
She's on top of it today.
Brandon, the speakerphone doesn't work. It's all connected through the system, dude. Come on. Anyway. Okay.
Good
Go
morning,
sell the
Mr.
trunk of a Mazda.
Delatorre.
All right. But the good news is that we may not have headsets on, but don't worry. Your commercials will still run, so that's a good thing. Okay. Listen, I want to touch on this for SummerSlam. The RTC this past week announced that they're going to start running some busing service to Allegiant Stadium after what happened, right? Each way.
Yes.
So, on the heels of the Garth Brooks attendance fiasco, let's hope that that's going to reduce any issues for SummerSlam. Again, we want to thank Garth and I'm going to say Garth from Finley Mazda because this was all planned before Brandon got on board with that.
I'm always in rare form.
That we have the Mazda bus taking a bunch of us, courtesy of Finley Mazda, to the event that Saturday. But with the new restrictions now with masks, are we going to see SummerSlam affected in any way, in your opinion? Because I haven't seen anything, but I'm looking ahead.
I'll tell you this much. I know a local show that's going to happen tonight, and the promoter put out that face masks had to be worn. So if that is the state law, then I would assume WWE is going to have to adhere to it.
Right.
Or the state could come in
Sure.
and close them down.
Sure.
But it did say that you have to wear masks indoors, and technically Allegiant Stadium is it open or
no?
It's not. It's closed.
It's
So
closed stadium.
then we might have to wear masks.
So
but I've gotten so many calls that people that are afraid it's going to get canceled altogether.
Really?
It better not.
It ain't going to get canceled.
They're killing it. You know, with friends like these people in our chat room this morning, who needs enemies?
What happened? I lost my.
Well, no. He's putting up there as much as he can to keep up. As I'm seeing them here in my chat room. Yes, Carlos Sisolak is pushing masks to be worn when you're indoors with more than 4 people. Because that's what the CDC recommends. However, I do want to clarify, as I saw in the news about this, and I don't want to really spend a lot of time on masks.
No, I don't
in town,
either.
But this current situation with the mask minimally may only last for 2 weeks because they're going to monitor the numbers, see if the cases start going down, and we could not, or it could go back up. And this is the Delta variant everybody's talking about. But listen, I worked out yesterday. I took a kettlebell class. In the heat, I've never worked out with a mask on. I had to and it was a cotton mask. Never again. I was suffocating myself at the end because it got so heavy with sweat as I was breathing. The sucker was coming in. I now purchased specific masks to wear when I work out because of it.
I was going to say I could bring you some good ones down.
Are they non-cotton?
Uh-huh.
All right, well, that's good. Are they good for working out in?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah.
And they're nice and thin.
Okay, if you got it, I would love to see what you got in inventory.
I'll bring you some. And technology stinks. Okay? I used to watch it on TV, live and in person at Madison Square and the Spectrum and Washington, D.C., so you don't know what you're talking about. It's like the radio. I love you guys.
Sean, to answer your question, yes, there's 4 of us, but that's it. Anything over than 4 in an indoor place is where the masks need to be applied. So,
hey, Sean, who should we have as a guest for our Firehouse Subs?
well, we got Chris Bay, but
Chris
we'll take
Bay.
any other suggestions. All right, we're going to step aside for our first break
Certainly.
so that this way some of our bills can continue to be paid. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas. That's Matt. That's Chief. I'm Aaron. We'll see you in 60.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
Alrighty, welcome back. Welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. All right, let's go on to our WWE report. Our WWE report. There we go.
Sorry about that. I'm reading.
He's reading and bell ring. It's tough to do together at the same time. So
You can't multitask without pills.
3/4 half-heimers.
that's right.
I'm making that a shirt.
We have
soon.
to, yes, and 37.5. We're overdue for that one too,
37.5.
right? We'll have to credit Otto for that one.
You know, I want to throw a shout-out, though.
Sure.
Miss Guerrero, thank you very much
yes.
for last weekend, dear. Greatly appreciate. I had so much fun. It was funny. It brought back good memories. I hope down the road we can do it again sometime.
Now, you reshared a post with us in our chat group that it was reshared on Vicky stuff, right?
Yeah, Vicky reshared it, and a couple other places reshared the interview, and
Yeah, that's great. So we got picked up pretty much mainstream in a way, even more so than we already are. So
I shared the clip of me getting fired to Britt Baker
Oh my goodness!
because Britt Baker's better than Nyla Rose with 3 limbs.
Oh my God! Oh
Hear
my
that, Vicky?
God!
Excuse me. Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, we'll get. Yeah. So Vicky, thank you. I'm just reading. As a matter of fact, Michelle, the owner of Firehouse Subs that we are working with, she just sent me a text message, and she said, "It looked like you guys had a great time," which we did, of course, and thank you very much. So that was from her, and we'll be out there again on the 31st.
Awesome.
All right.
Be there because the chief said so.
There you go. All right, let's go to our first report. This past week, we saw an unfortunate injury. Natalia underwent surgery on her right ankle after getting injured. Now, I can't think of any real time when Natty was really out for an extended period due to an injury. This is really the first one that comes to mind. Now, of course, it's significant because she's got a strap around her waist as half the tag team, but it also didn't sound like she's going to be out very long. So any other news, thoughts on what happened to Natalia this week?
I heard she's only going to be out a couple weeks, so they're not going to strip them of like the women's tag team championships. So hopefully it's a quick recovery and she gets back quickly.
Do some type of write-off, not actually wrestling, but doing something else on the shows probably.
To recover, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's out in there. There's a picture of her being helped out of the ring area. What was interesting is she finished them. Yeah, she rolled out. She never threw up the X sign, which is the sign that that referees will use.
Right.
She is such a underappreciated performer with WWE for all that she does, not only in the ring and putting others over, but what she does behind the scenes. That I'm very. Hey Mags, I'm disheartened that she got injured and will miss time. Okay, we know her lineage, we know the story, but I hopefully she'll recover very, very soon. Carlos talked about that they talked about the Vicky interview on Wrestle Talk this past week. Thank you very much for sharing that. Thomas Burnett says he'll definitely be there in August. Mike is asking anybody in the chat room, is the sound out of sync with the video for anyone else? So if that's the case, please respond to that. Brandy wants to know if we can get mics that work at Firehouse so in-house we can hear you. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, Brandy, you need an in-house PA system, and that is not anything that we provide. So for the next time, what I would recommend is perhaps turn your volume up on the video on your phone so you can hear it, or maybe we'll figure out to somebody's phone we can add some external speakers to plug in perhaps in an area of Firehouse that people can hear it as well. So we'll figure something out. But yeah. All right. What's that? All right. Well, Aaron has committed, Brandy, to a speaker system of sorts to be heard inside. So there you go. Okay. All right. Next topic. Vince says AEW is not in competition the way they used to be with WCW.
Yet.
Okay. I'll digress. Coming in this morning, I was listening to Busted Open with preacher Mark Henry this morning.
I was listening to
Mark
that too.
was preaching. He was preaching. Anyway.
I think they were preaching about the missionary position before I was here.
And you know the promo. You know the first thing that come to my mind? Nikki ASH. Anyway, what they were talking about, and you know, I started thinking about it. Sean, and you're this old, so you'll understand this.
I think I just got out of sub slapping. Now it might be you.
Back with
missionary battle.
Yeah, back during the day when it was Vince McMahon and Ted Turner. Ted Turner actually came out and said, "I'm going to take your best wrestlers away from you."
Right.
And Ted Turner spent a lot of money. There's my girl, Nikki Ash, whatever it is.
ASH, almost superhero.
So anyway, you know, I think that's what Vince was referring to today. And what I heard Mark say, you know, Mark was basically a free agent. He was not under contract
Right.
to WWE anymore.
Correct.
So
His employment was up.
he went where the money was.
That's right.
And probably Paul White did the same thing. And I would assume Aleister Black and the people, that have been released or
Right.
fired or whatever, well, I think we're going to have some sort of the same type of thing happening between AEW and WWE now. And Tony Khan's got the money. And if Daniel Bryan's not under contract, Tony threw the little tidbit about going to Japan. I think Bryant's already signed with him. And I'll just give you my opinion why I'm on the roll now. I think CM Punk signed. After Wednesday night, seeing Darby Allin challenge him to a match in Chicago, I think we're going to see it. And I think that one, if it is true in fact, and it's not a rumor, I think that's going to piss Vince off even more.
I think AEW is getting towards competition to WWE. I don't think they technically are yet, just because they need to make a couple more roster moves, and I think the Daniel Bryan CM Punk thing will put them in direct competition with WWE.
I agree.
But they have a lot of not known talent in AEW that nobody knows about. So once Paul White and Mark Henry work with them and all of them get better because all of them were on the indies and never on television, I think that they could be direct competition to WWE and possibly beat WWE at some point in ratings.
I no, that one I totally agree with you. And I think it's going to happen sooner than later.
Definitely. WWE's roster is so big that everybody's so talented and everyone's so well known that with the right booking, if they ever did it right, you can almost throw anybody in a main event spot.
And this is one
In
of the reasons.
AEW, you got a Joey Janela or
Right.
whatever random YouTube star they feel like putting up that week.
And this is one of the reasons why we're hearing of the possibility of Braun Strowman coming back, being re-signed by the WWE, because Vince has come out, or the sources say, that they don't want him going to AEW. So now we may see that one get pulled back.
I'll go back to Ted Turner. I think if Mr. Khan wants to spend the money, personal opinion, I think they'll leave WWE and go to AEW. If there's the more money there is, it's like Mark said this morning, you're going to go where the money's at.
Well, you know what,
So-
though? Here, there's, again, the continued talk of Vince has been apparently dumping stock recently.
Sure.
Again, the company being in a position, will they sell? Will they not be sold soon? With what's happening with all the salaries and everything else, who knows what's going to happen overall from a corporate structure that can affect the product even moving forward more so today. All right, that'll do it for that topic.
Brandy, you want to give us a couple thousand for Moxley? I'll be happy to see if we can get him.
If anybody that knows a guy that knows him, let us know. I would love to make that happen.
Exactly. All right. Let's go on. In about another minute or so after we touch on our next topic, it'll be time for the Chiefs rant. By the way, you brought it busted open this morning, and you and I have talked about this. Ryan McKinnell, who's the host on Saturdays with Mark Henry,
He's hilarious.
and he does a show about MMA on there as well. And he's from Vegas. Maybe we get him to come down to Firehouse Subs if anybody knows him. I don't like Ryan McKinnell. He does not impress
The
me.
very next sentence made that not possible. Good job.
What's that?
You're like, get Ryan McKinnell on the show. I don't like Ryan
just because-
McKinnell.
Well, no, just because he's not my favorite play-by-play guy or broadcast guy doesn't mean he shouldn't be a guest.
We just don't want your blood pressure going up.
That's fine.
all.
I'll take extra meds that day.
No.
Because-
you ain't doing the 3/4 half.
Have you? I mean, do
Ain't
you
happening.
well, you're usually working, and so
That's
the
my
show
shtick.
hours you're here. So have you ever listened to McKinnell on the wrestling show? I don't know how he is on the MMA show.
I listen to the podcast all the time.
I listened to him this
Well, we
morning.
do too.
He was funny as hell.
Don't you think he goes long in some of his
When
comments?
Mark lets him, Mark reels
Do you think
him
Mark's
in.
lets him go
Yeah.
3 minutes saying the same thing over and over and over and
I
over?
think Mark when it's time, Mark reels him in. So.
Thank you, Sean. Sean's
Yeah.
got my back. Anyway, just a quick commentary. Anyway.
I don't see nothing.
Well, it's in my chat room. It'll come up if he puts it up there. Don't worry. Okay. We are ready for the Chief's rant. I didn't even ask him before we started if he even has a rant ready, but Chief never needs time for
I
a
don't
rant.
have a
He's
rant.
always mad
ready.
about
You don't have a rant?
something.
No.
So you want to skip one? You want to skip it?
Yeah, let's skip it today.
All right.
We got a lot to talk about.
All right. There you go.
Unless
so,
I get fired up about something, then I might go off.
I was
for
going to
a
say
minute.
fired. Is
You
Vicky
know,
on the
you know
horn?
what? You know what? I don't have a rant, but
Then he's immediately going to.
but I've got something to talk about.
Isn't that a rant?
If I can't, screw the music, you don't need to bring it up today. Anyway, I was on social media last night, and one of my good friends said to me that a certain so and so kind of got screwed last night. And Thomas Burnett, you need to help me out. I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I will. I think that with Roman Reigns and John Cena and Finn Balor and who was the other guy that's penniless now?
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. There you go. I agree with you. I think that Finn Balor should have got the match with Roman Reigns. However, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You have a person coming back that has a contract with 5 or 6 matches a year, maybe, making millions of dollars. Who's going to get over?
Roman.
Of course, Roman's going to get over, but Cena's going to get over. In my mind, in reality, that should have been Finn Balor's match with Roman. Okay, he's worked for it. He's been there. He went down to NXT for almost a year. Had some great battles down there. Now he's come back. Creative is screwing him over again. Okay, just my opinion. What match is going to put more people in seats? Cena and Roman. Okay, but I don't want to see this gentleman that we had at the top of the list, Lesnar. I don't want to see him come back because the same thing's going to happen to another wrestler. He's going to come back. He's going to wrestle somebody big. They're going to have the big match, the build up to it, and one of the guys that's going day in and day out on the shows, the house shows, whatever, now that they're starting back, is going to get screwed over. Okay? It's not right. It didn't. And Sean, don't give me any shit on this. It happened in the old days. A wrestler wrestled. A wrestler didn't go away and come back. They wrestled. Okay? This here, with these type of contracts, Vinnie Mac needs to take a look at him and cease and desist. That shit needs to go away. Okay, I'm just tired of seeing it. And that's the Chiefs rant for today. Over and out.
All right. Sean just put in there, for not having a rant, Chief just nailed it. Not bad for an impromptu rant.
Thanks
Thanks for listening to Chiefs Not Rant.
Non-rant, exactly. We'll have to show a rant with the circle and the line through it on another show.
I think Balor will get like the winner of the SummerSlam
I think he'll
match,
interfere
but
in SummerSlam.
That the Cena Reigns match has to happen if they're gonna build that thing up to
I don't.
the point of like a WrestleMania. What's gonna draw more, Reigns and Balor or Reigns and Cena?
Of course, Reigns and Cena, and that's what I said. Here's the other thing, though.
I think Finn Balor gets involved in the match, costing Cena. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No.
but I think that's how Finn gets back into the
My
picture.
3/4 just kicked in, and I can't think of the guy's name. He wrestled. He wrestled Roman recently.
Edge?
Edge. Okay. Edge had his shot. He came out last night. What did he do?
Who came out? Edge?
Yeah, Edge came out last night.
Right.
You know, he went down the ring, blah, 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 blah. He had his glory. Okay, he lost. There's no storyline for him now.
But now there is one with Rollins, right?
Seth Rollins?
Like I said, there's no storyline. He needs
Started in like 2014, bud.
he needs to go away.
Who Edge does?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He needs to go away. He needs to go away.
Send all your hate mail to Chief
I-
at
I could
I care
thoughtscountanywhere.com.
less. There's enough good young. Baron Corbin needs a push. He needs to get into the championship picture now. Okay? Finn Balor needs to get into the championship picture. Okay? When you have these gentlemen, and I say gentlemen, like Mr. Cena and Edge and The Rock will be coming back, and I'm okay. I'm okay with them having a match because it's all about money. I get that. It's all about who's going to be put in the seats. I get that. But you know what? There comes a point in time where you need to go to pasture.
Mike Halverson says Baron Corbin needs to fall down a flight of stairs.
Hey,
It's kind of harsh, but okay.
thank you for allowing me
Yeah,
my
it's-
5 minutes
No
today.
worries. No worries. We're going to step aside here momentarily for our next break before we wrap up the show to the top. Just want to remind everybody, Unicon is coming to Las Vegas to the World Market Center October 1st through the 3rd. For more information, www.unicon.vegas. Kids 12 and under are free. The whole listing of people who will be there to sign autographs, pictures, everything is there. There's going to be wrestling there. And Go Live Vegas tentatively is scheduled to be on the road that entire weekend, which means Thoughts Count Anywhere, Unsportsmanlike Conduct, and perhaps Twin Brothers will all be doing their shows live from the World Market Center. Mark your calendars October 1 through 3. More information on Unicon.
And come down to Unicon and I'll sign
Vegas.
an autograph for you.
There you go. And I'll have books with me. Anyway, we'll be back. This is Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
If you order Firehouse subs online or with our app, we'll have those delicious, melty subs boxed, bagged, and ready to pick up with rapid rescue to go. Firehouse subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. Hey, by the way, quick reminder, go to thoughtscountanywhere.com. Our brackets are still up for best finishes, right?
Yep.
Did we move on to round 4? Are we still wrapping up, or round 3? Are we wrapping up round 2?
We will wrap it up on social media today and announce the
Next brackets, the next rounds?
next round. Yeah.
So if you haven't voted for the best finisher, round 2 is still up on our website. Get out there, cast your vote now. And also, thoughtscountanywhere.com. Hit the swag or shop button. Get some of the shirts. We are supporting causes like the Nevada Coalition of Suicide Prevention and Chief and Ain't Easy and creative writing and all that stuff. Check it out. Thoughtscountanywhere.com.
The wrestler for today,
He was like Carmack. Remember Karnak?
Mukka Singh.
Who?
Mukka Singh.
Bless you.
Mucka, M-U-K-A? Because Aaron's going to have to try to find
Singh is the last name.
Okay. But Mucka, M-U-K-A?
I'm not sure.
All right.
He wrestled up in the Canadian area, though, for Stu Hart.
All right. Let's see it. Oh,
Now I'm
wow.
getting-
What? Wait a minute. Whoa.
Hold what?
it.
You know
Hold
who
the
Mukta
presses.
Singh is?
Stop.
But you don't know who frickin' Eddie Guerrero is? This is what I frickin' really just heard.
Ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendar. Today, July 31st, 9:42 a.m. Pacific time. Our beloved engineer and owner of Go Live Vegas, Mr. Aaron Elikas, actually knows who Mucka Singh is. Why? Because he wrestled in Canada, you said. And, of course, Stampede Wrestling with Stu Hart.
See?
Wow.
Get him. Bring up a good one, please.
Wow.
I've named like a million wrestlers. He's like, who's that? And
I
they're like
know.
every mainstream person there is.
Well, I will say this, though. I am proud of him for actually knowing one of the wrestler names we throw up there. All right. Anyway. Okay.
That's my wrestler for
All right.
today.
Let's get. I don't care. You could say it's Jane Doe. The fact he knew who it was, I'm very happy.
Hey.
It's good.
That's my man.
1 in 2 years is not bad. You could take another 2-year break from that. Okay. Let's go into some AEW Impact Indies. Thoughts on Nick Cage and Jericho, assuming you don't work for Domino's.
It was about as brutal as I thought they were going to get for television.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't like on TV, I'm sure it would have been
Yes,
way
Carlos,
worse.
yes.
But I'm sure they gave they're like, Nick, don't freaking do this, this, and this.
Right.
But you can do this.
Right.
I think Jericho really put him over. You know, I mean,
Definitely.
you know, for Jericho.
Oh, there he is. We have a picture. There he is.
That's my man, Mucka Singh.
Mucka Singh. Look at that. Now, is that a championship belt he's wearing, or is that a waist belt around his onesie?
That is the Canadian
That's the
championship.
Stampede
That's-
championship belt?
That's
Wow.
Canadian championship belt.
Why do all wrestlers from that generation, their pose is always the same? Like they're ready to grapple, right?
Hey.
Wow, look at that. Could a little
Blame Canada.
See, that's going back. See, that's old school wrestling,
Yeah.
folks.
And that belt needs some polishing, too. Wow.
That's old school
Is he
Their
wrestling.
still alive?
championships look like a flat quarter.
That's right. Is he still alive? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay.
I do not know.
Aaron should know.
He's
a wrestler from
But
his
anyway,
genre.
getting back
Yes.
to Jericho and Nick. Jericho really put him over. You know, the pizza cutter. Hey, you can say what you want. It was a good segue. Let's put it that way. I definitely think now, though, that Gage is going to be. You're absolutely right, and I'll read that in a minute. Gage is going to get pushed now. I don't necessarily know if he's going to go to the big time. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
I did, and I'll read it. Michael Paul Shaw was an American professional wrestler who was best known for his stint in World Championship Wrestling as Norman the Lunatic and as Bastion Booger in the World Wrestling Federation. So, but he did get his start up in Canada with Stu Hart.
Interesting. That's good. I like it. I didn't realize he was Bastion Booger, too.
See,
I never knew Stu stretched the booger.
see, I educate you. I educate you people.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you can do better, I'll throw the challenge out. You name the old timer next week.
That's your gig. I don't even know who you're talking about. half the
Okay.
time.
Okay, so let's stay on. Listen,
Sorry.
Jericho, to the best of my knowledge, has never really wrestled in a match like this before, has he? I mean, he's been in, Falls Count Anywhere, so, but I mean, has he ever been in like this death match style before, Jericho?
Not
I
that-
can't think of any
Not
time.
that I know of,
Not
and with
that
all
I
the
know.
talk online that he's like lost it, he's gaining weight, and I
And
think
he's
it's
50 now,
literally
right?
like the 5 labors of Jericho is to prove all the haters wrong. So when they said he was going to be in a death match,
Right.
he wanted to go all in, and that's pretty much what he did. So
I answered that question already, Mr. Elikas.
I have a question. What do you think about him wrestling Hoovy next week?
and he has to win with a move off the top rope. So
Correct.
I think this is literally this whole thing is to prove like Jericho still's got it. And then
then
he
if
kicks
you get-
MJF's ass at the end.
I was going to say, after this, then he finally gets a shot at MJF, right?
Yeah.
As long as we're talking about Nick Cage, last weekend, so we'll stick with him for a moment. He wrestled Matt Cardona, formerly Ryder.
Zack
Zack
Ryder.
Ryder, thank you, from the WWE.
Right.
in a true death match style in Atlantic City.
Yes.
Bloody as all get out.
For GCW.
For GCW. Matt Cardona could not really even get out of the ring afterwards.
No.
I am not a fan of death matches. I mean, I know there's hardcore matches. You have Mick Foley and Terry Funk, and that I get that stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not. I mean, Ryan McKinnell, your favorite announcer, mentioned this morning.
Wait. Whoa,
he didn't.
back up.
He said he liked him.
I said I liked him. He is not my. He is not my favorite announcer.
He said,
"You're my favorite announcer."
Thank you. All right. I take back everything bad that Matt has ever said about you. But anyway.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ryan stated that death matches like this are part of wrestling. I disagree with that. So I am not a fan of that style. I know there's the cuts and the blood. I'm okay with that. But I don't think celebrity. Yeah, I got somebody else's celebrity events on mine. Death matches to me is not part of wrestling. But
just out of curiosity, everybody in the chat, would you guys be interested if we got Nick Gage in the studio live? This is a possibility. I was wondering if people would be interested or not.
I've been to a couple death match shows out here, and not all the matches, even though it says death match, not all the matches are pizza cutters and things.
Right.
There are some of the matches that are wrestling. True wrestling.
Sure.
College wrestling.
Right. Well, it's like Money in the Bank match.
Submission.
Sure.
Submission.
Sure.
Okay. Some of the wrestlers are black belts in, their certain, what the hell am I trying to say? Like judo or
martial arts stuff.
Martial arts. Okay. And I should know that, being that we have a sponsor. But, so there's different types of matches in the death match show. Okay, some are a little violent, some are not. And but I do think it's part of wrestling.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fair. Matt, what's your thoughts on it being part of wrestling as a whole?
I had an interesting thought. We should get Mike Halverson in here, and we should get Jeff Bronk in here. 2 former wrestlers.
Okay.
And possibly get them in here and let them talk about wrestling.
There you go.
Just a thought.
Okay. Well, you handle our guests, so
I think
what's
it's
your
just
thought
like
on
the
it?
hardcore, kicked up a notch. I don't know if it's true wrestling, but it's like the evolution basically of hardcore wrestling. Because I think ECW caused deathmatch wrestling.
Thomas Burnett, he can block a top rope Frankensteiner and then put the lion tamer on Hoovy. Okay.
Mike Halverson puts in there, death matches in the 90s were really cool. I worked with Necro 20 years ago and got a $5 bill stapled on my head. It was cool. It was a cool favor for the show. Thomas Burnett says, then they'll have to wear masks, as that there'll be 5 of us here in the studio, so we'll have to wear masks when all those guys come in. But and Funny Bone also, Sean says, could talk about death matches. So then Brandy says, maybe with all of that, maybe we'll finally get some sub slapping. Okay, it is. Some of the guys.
Brandy,
anyway, is that what we call it now?
Brandy, is that your new fetish, sub slapping?
I was going to say, geez.
Well,
all right, you know what?
There's a lot of jokes I can make out of that, but I'm going to keep them to myself.
Love you, sister.
Is it a small, regular, large? There's all kinds of stuff. Okay, you know what time it is? It's birthday time. To celebrate some birthdays before we have about 9 minutes left, 10 minutes to wrap up.
You.
So if you're celebrating a birthday today through next Friday, August 6th, we want to wish you a happy birthday from all of us here at Thoughts Count Anywhere and celebrating with these people. I have no idea if the birthday music is playing behind me or not. I'm going to pretend it is. July 31st, Kid Cash, that is today. Tomorrow, one of the best wrestling referees in the industry, Mike Chioda. Tomorrow, Devon Dudley, Bunkhouse Buck, Yoshi Tatsu. August 2nd, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Austin Theory. August 3rd, here's a guy that I wish would come back. He was so good, Damian Sandow. I mean, Mizdow and all that stuff, come on. How he's still not, I mean, he signed with TNT for a short time, I believe was, or Impact. We haven't seen him do much, but I really wish Sandow would come back up somewhere. August 4th, Dean Malenko, Suicide, and Frankie Kazarian. August 5th, Pat Tatanka. And August 6th, the great Dino Bravo, and Tony Nese. So once again, happy birthday to all of you out there celebrating your birthday from the wrestling world and our fans. Happy birthday as we will continue this tradition.
Happy birthday to you all.
There you go.
Thomas said we
Duke is
deserve
in the
a run
house.
over for our tardiness, so
Duke says that he and Principe Leon should be the guests on the next.
Hey, Duke, are you
Firehouse.
back in town? Just checking. I thought I ran you out of town when I hit you with the kendo stick.
Okay, there you go. Oh, Damian Sando is signed to NWO. I did not know that. Okay, thanks for letting us know. Okay, let's go on with a couple other things here. The Iconics may be signing, if they haven't already done so. I believe it hasn't officially been done yet, right? Rumor has it they may be signing on with AEW to join who?
Britt Baker
And
in a stable to protect herself from the likes of Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero.
there you go.
Hey, can I do a
What would they call? I'm sorry. What would they call the group? If it was, did anything come out with that? I mean,
Not that I've heard.
oh,
no.
okay.
the non-4 horsewoman?
The non-4 horsewomen. Yeah. Well, you can't have it anyway because you only have 3 to begin with.
Oh, okay. Hey, can I do
37.5.
a shout out real quick?
Of course.
Mr. Ben Boham, who I just received, and I should have brought it today.
Okay.
And Ben, look in next week because I'm going to bring the piece down that I purchased from you. It's 1 of 50 made by Rob Schellenberger.
Which is what?
It is a picture painted by him
Okay.
of Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and there's only 50 of them in
Wow.
the world.
Okay.
I will bring it in next week. So Ben,
So maybe we get Ben as a guest to call in or something next week. Or is Ben here in Vegas?
Ben is in Kentucky.
That's okay. We'll send him a link if he wants. We can spend a few minutes with him on the show. So can you arrange that?
I'll try.
All
I'll
right.
talk to him and see what we can arrange.
you go.
If that's okay with you, Ben, I'll talk to you later.
Well, as Captain Picard always used to say, make it so, number one.
But it's
So,
it is 1 of 50 that was made.
terrific.
And it's it's an awesome piece.
Yeah, I have to say we'll have to have him call in or video in, assuming we get our headsets working next week. And I don't mean that to be facetious or knock on Aaron, but we can't have that happen unless we can hear him, right? So that's okay.
That's
we'll make it
true.
happen. It's all right. It's all good. All right. Oh, Ben says in there, sounds great. Thank you. So, all right.
Thanks, brother.
There you go.
I'll be on Sunday with you.
Ben, are we connected on Facebook? We need to be. If we're not, send me a
You
friend
gotta
request.
watch like his videos, like him and the other
Top-
guy.
Top Rope Collections.
Yeah, they have like a cool show on Sunday. You can find some like really cool autograph stuff.
What
for,
is
like,
the
really
website
good
again?
Prices.
Top Rope Collections.
It's a group on Facebook.
Yep.
Okay. I'll have to join that one too. Another group. That makes like 300. How many
Hey,
groups you guys
they,
belong to?
They have some
A lot.
They
But
have
every
some,
Sunday I watch that.
They have some real good
Okay.
items, as does the Brew Brothers, Thomas and Nicholas Brunette, here locally in Las
Yes.
Vegas.
And I want to thank those who came out to my book signing last Saturday and Sunday. Thomas and Nick came out. Got a chance to meet Nick for the first time.
They're great. They're great guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Want to thank everybody there. Let My Voice Speak to You is my book. It's available on Kindle. If you would like to get an autographed copy, just drop me a message on Facebook, and I'll give you all the instructions necessary. It's a story where I share some motivational and inspiration based on my health journey that can be applied to anything, laughs behind the microphone, and even some podcast nuggets if you're interested in doing what we
and
do.
now that I can
So-
browbeat you, where the hell's the book at? You don't even bring it into the studio to put up here so people can see it.
No, but I brought my belts, and Aaron has it up on screen.
Yeah, well, the screen's no good. Bring the damn book in and put it
Truth
up
be
here.
told, I had one in my hand, and I left it at
Because
home.
the chief said so.
I know. Well, Aaron has one somewhere in the house because I gave him one. Maybe
Well, he's from Canada. That don't count.
Sean Hyde, thank you for your plug there in the chat. If everybody in the chat room goes and buys a shirt on thoughtsanywhere.com, maybe we can get one step closer to new headsets. Or
My man, Sean.
or get one of the two shirts we have specifically designed. I'm reading from the chat room. Oh my goodness gracious!
This
All
has
right.
been fun today.
If you go and actually look for shirts, there's 2 out there that we have sold with Garth's permission.
Yes.
That a percentage of the net proceeds, 50% of our net proceeds, will be going back to the Nevada Coalition for Suicide Prevention in honor of his grandfather. So check those out.
Yes,
the shirts
indeed.
we have on are all available on the website. Check it out. We appreciate it, especially if you're going to SummerSlam with us.
Yeah, I like my shirt.
Get a shirt. There you go. All about it.
Right there.
All right.
WWE creative shit.
There you go. I thought Chiefs rant was over 30 minutes ago.
Hey, I
but,
can rant when
With AEW like announcing that show in Chicago,
Yes.
they're either freaking trolling us super hard
Yeah.
over this whole CM Punk thing, or CM Punk is coming out August 20th.
You know, realistically, and let me ask you guys seriously. Bryan Danielson, CM, and CM Punk. Will CM Punk, I wonder, will he be able to use that name with AEW? But my real question is, do you both feel that they have signed with AEW?
I think they have. And I know CM Punk would be able to use his name because he was able to use it in Ring of Honor, UFC, and everywhere else. So I don't think it'll be an issue in AEW.
But he just came back to an indie event where he used a different name a couple of weeks ago.
Who, Punk?
Yeah.
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 What name did he come out of?
I don't remember, but he looked like he was dressed like a Viking or something coming out at an indie event.
Huh.
Didn't even something totally different with the gimmick. And it could be because he was dressed like a Viking. I mean, so he may have changed it. But anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine. I think it's going to be like a huge game changer for AEW.
So you think they've signed
I think
already?
he's definitely coming, because why would you announce a random event in Chicago with all these rumors of CM Punk, and then you get Darby Allin making best in the world references?
That's
This is either
Swerve,
the
baby.
greatest
Swerve,
troll
baby.
job in the history of wrestling, or CM Punk's on the way.
I think Brian for sure. I'm not sold on Punk yet. Here's a trivia question. Do you guys
Okay.
know what CM Punk's real name is?
Phil Brooks.
Damn you. He's right. But anyway,
that's
I know.
my partner.
I know.
Partner in crime.
But yeah, I believe Bryan Danielson is signed. Punk, like I said, I'm not. You know why? Because they're pushing CM Punk possibly coming so hard right now, and not really talking about Bryan.
Well,
although rumors are that he may show up at the Arthur Ashe event in September.
That's what I was just going to bring up.
So maybe they're not waiting to push that, but I'm still not sold on Punk just yet.
My gut says that Danielson will be at Arthur Ashe in New York, and Punk will then be, is it November? October, November.
What?
The Chicago show.
August
It's this
20th.
month.
It's the day before SummerSlam.
Yeah. And
The one in Chicago?
Yeah.
Then that's when he's going to
And
show up.
the light that's going to take away from WWE for SummerSlam.
And
with
you
that
know-
happening.
That's smart.
And if
That's
he-
smart.
and
Oh
if-
yeah, it's smart marketing.
And if he does appear, you know the pop is going to be huge.
And they
music is up.
Okay, and they need to do it because if the current coronavirus issue continues to grow across the country, empty arena events may be coming back sooner than we think, unfortunately, and there's no way either of those guys are coming back in front of an empty arena.
Agree.
With that, guys, we got to wrap it up. Our music is playing. Matt, final thoughts, sir.
Everybody have a good week. Hopefully everyone stays safe and we can still have SummerSlam and every other cool event coming.
Just be safe, right? Chief.
Hope your eye gets better, buddy.
Thanks.
Hey, enjoyed this show today. Folks, again, who came out to Firehouse Sub, thanks very much. We greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it.
I think our future is being told right now with the picture that's up on the screen. Anyway, thank you for watching Thoughts Count
And
Anywhere.
Sean, that's for you.
2 hours, 12 o'clock. Twin Brothers from Different Mothers will be on the air. Me and Neil Portnoy will be interviewing Joey and Valerie Maletti. They've got a show coming up Tuesday night at the Italian American Club called #Me Too, the Broadway show. Anyway, Aaron Phillips, be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. We'll see you next time on Thoughts Count Anywhere. All right, guys, listen. We just signed off. It's not next week, but literally as we signed off today's show, we got a call from our good friend Brandy. We want to thank you for bringing this to our attention. So, Matt, you've got the story up. We want to share breaking news with our audience as it happens. Go.
If this isn't the greatest sale for our shirt the Chief is wearing, WWE just announced that they have released Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt is now a free agent. Released. I mean,
I bet you Tony Khan's literally called his phone already.
Right. To me, this is almost as big as Samoa Joe, Iconics, of course, Braun Strowman. This is a big, big release.
This got to be like the biggest one. The Fiend was like he was like the top merch seller. He was like probably one of the most over characters WWE had. What the hell are they doing?
It's like I said, the first part of the show. Ted Turner, Vince McMahon. Now it's going to be Vince McMahon and Tony Khan. And in my opinion, Tony's going to open the pocketbook up. And as you said more than once, Matt, he's going to get a star. He's going to get a star. If they sign Bray Wyatt, they're going to get a star.
What?
He's already made.
Bray Wyatt, Malachi Black. Think about that matchup now. Aaron was kind enough to put up on the teleprompter in front of us their official statement from WWE, but quite frankly, it's the same words. WWE has come to terms on the release. So apparently there was a mutual agreement to be released. It wasn't one of these where they just cut him.
Right.
Okay. We wish him the best in all of his future endeavors, WWE wrote. It was recently reported that WWE was keeping Wyatt off TV for the time being for reasons that were not related to creative. Now, here's the interesting thing. A picture recently just came up in the last 36 hours of a very svelte Bray Wyatt that he physically got into shape much over this time off. One can only wonder why, but this certainly is breaking news in terms of this happening today. So there you have it. We know it's out there. I believe it officially was released about 15 minutes before we went off the air. We were unaware of that. Thank you, Brandy, for calling into Chief and letting us know that
Hold
this
on,
is
I
out
do have
there.
one more. I've
Please,
met Bray
yeah.
Wyatt a couple times, and I was always like, dude, I love your character. And he's like, you haven't seen anything yet. I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff approved. So if he's got to get all this stuff approved, and Tony Khan pretty much lets everybody do creatively what they want, could you imagine a fully let go Bray Wyatt on television?
I wonder how Mike Rotunda feels right now, Bray's dad. Okay.
If WWE's holding him down like this, he's probably happy because
Mike Rotunda, a WWE Hall of Famer. I wonder how he feels with what WWE, especially Vince McMahon, has done to his son.
Our good friend Scott Hosey, owner of Power Play Sports Collectibles and one of the founding fathers of Thoughts Count Anywhere, messaged us in our chat. He says, but was The Fiend released?
They could put somebody else under that.
It says
gimmick. That'd be stupid because everyone knows Bray's gone.
It says WWE has come to terms on the release of Bray Wyatt.
But in the Firefly Funhouse, you had Bray Wyatt, who then became The Fiend. So is Bray Wyatt just terminated, but The Fiend hasn't? I don't know. Interesting question, interesting little twist. I don't think so. I think Bray's gone and all that is gone. But, okay, we're going to get more into this next week for sure.
Scott Unicon, Bray Wyatt. Make it happen.
What does this mean for Alexa Bliss and that whole storyline as well? We'll talk about that. I'm sure there'll be news about that. All right, there you have it. Breaking news. We thank Brandy. We thank everybody for following us and allowing us the opportunity to bring it. With that, thank you for watching. Thoughts Count Anywhere back next Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thank you, everybody.